Hey everyone, Football Guy here. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Throwback Thursday. Today we're going to start off by reviewing last week's team, the 1976 San Francisco 49ers. They brought over Monty Clark as the head coach, and they hired him as the youngest head coach at the time. He went 8-6 on that year, and then Edward DeBartolo bought the team in 1977 and hired GM Joe Thomas. Now Clark was the GM before Thomas, and he refused to give up his personnel duties, so he was fired. So he only lasted 1 year in San Francisco. But he did bring over Jim Plunkett from New England, who had two subpar years in San Francisco. In 1976, he threw for about 1,600 yards. He had 13 touchdowns, but he had 16 interceptions. The rushing attack, led by Delvin Williams, he had 1,203 yards on 250 attempts, roughly. He had 7 touchdowns. And then Wilbur Jackson added almost 800 more yards and 1 more touchdown. Now, as far as the receivers go, Gene Washington had 33 receptions for about 450 yards and 6 touchdowns. And then Wilbur Jackson was second on the team with 33 receptions for 324 yards and a touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, Bruce Rhodes led the way with 3 interceptions as far as that goes. And then they had the Gold Rush, which were the front 4 linemen, and they all had big sack totals. The top 3 were Tommy Hart with 16 sacks, Cleveland Elam was second on the team with 14 sacks, and Cedric Hardman, he was third on the team with 12.5 sacks. Some other notable things, they drafted 2 offensive linemen, Randy Cross and John Ayers, and they were integral in setting up San Francisco for a few of their Super Bowl wins coming up in the coming years. So that was the year in review there, and now it's time to see what the wheels tell us. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we have 3 different wheels that we're going to spin. The first wheel is going to let us know which team we're going to focus on. The second wheel will dial in the decade, and then the third wheel will actually give us the exact year that we're going to focus on. So without further ado, let's get spinning. So we're going to spin the wheel here for the team, and let's see where we're going to come up. Looks like the Rams, maybe the Dolphins. And yes, it's going to be the Miami Dolphins there. And then we're going to go for the decade. And let's see, as it spins around here, we're looking for the 70s, maybe the 80s. Yeah, it looks like the 1980s for the Miami Dolphins. And now for the exact year. Let's see, we're reloading our page here and spin. Here we go. And it looks like 1980 Miami Dolphins. So that will be the team that we're going to focus on this coming week. And Throwback Thursdays are always fun for me because I get to dig into the past and learn about the teams and players that I'm not too familiar with. And it gives me a chance to interact with all of you. So please comment on your favorite memories, players, and stories so we can all relive the glory of the past. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments.